I say it every week. You spend these amazing times with the guests. It's part 5. It's Friday here with Avrill Juriansz, and it's the final part. We're bringing it all home. From writing, awareness holds the key to helping others break free from their mental prisons. Avrill shows us that our past doesn't define our future. That's for sure. All of our guests is a common theme. If you've been following this week's journey, you know we covered some heavy ground. Today's conclusion is the perfect reminder that awareness isn't just about seeing clearly, it's about having the courage to change. A quote right from herself. Anyway, here's Avrill. Have a great week. Enjoy the final part of the show. And make sure you come back next week and join us here on Leading Our Own Way. We're going strong. Well over a year. Enjoy your weekend, everybody.
And I had cooked everything else but this bloody lentils. So he came home, it was like midnight. I was like, oh shit, I didn't cook the lentils. He walked in and he's like, what? That's not done. And I was like, geez, it won't take that long. It's only a little bit and it'll be done. And I slammed the pot onto the stove. So it went tack. He came around and clobbered me one, and I woke up the next day in my urine. So I was like, oh, I didn't even know that. I was like, oh.
Where did he hit? On the head? He hit
on the temple.
On the head.
So he clocked me a good night, Irene. Sorry.
And you were out all night?
Yeah. And I woke up, I was wondering what was that funny smell. And I was like, ew, my skin's itchy. And I had urinated for the clock. So
So he left you there and just went to bed?
Yeah. Oh, that's okay. So it's the first time I had to swim in my own pee. Ticket. Yeah, no. I wasn't even expecting it. It just came out of nowhere. I just turned around and I guess I just woke up after that. I had dropped. I didn't even know where I hit. I just felt cold and wet. I'm like, what? Didn't even drink any wine.
And you stuck with him after that?
Well, because the thing in my mind was, given as what you marry is what you get. It doesn't matter if he beats you up. That's your family life. You got to deal with it. So I went on a journey of trying to find out how to tame this beast. So I did reverse psychology, empathy, sympathy, everything for 5 years, for 5 long, grueling years. Oh, that was the most painless incident that I had. After the kids were born, we went night clubbing because he wanted to go night clubbing, and I didn't see the need of doing that anyway. Friends over, went there, and him and his mate went over and they were dancing, and I was dancing with their girlfriend and everything. And I'm like, where is this dude? So I went over, and here he is dancing between 2 blonde chicks. So I took off my wedding ring. Enjoy, bye-bye. And I walked away. He got pissed off because I took my ring off. I was like, well, if you're going to dance with other girls, then where are you? Yeah, I was just like, yeah, nah, goodbye. And then I was like, no, I need to go home. And he goes, no, we'll go home when we're good and ready. I said, my mum's got the babies. I need to go home. And then he was smoking a cigarette at the point in time. And then he goes, no, we'll go. I was like, no, we're going now. He put out his cigarette on my breast.
Did nobody else see this?
Oh, I wanted to scream, but I couldn't, because if I did, he'll pound me in front of them, and that's more embarrassing.
I know, but at least people would have seen it, right? Not that I want you to be beaten up or anything. I'm not.
No, like but that. The thing was, it's a nightclub, a little bit of light, a lot of sound, people doing their own thing. No one really pays attention. And he just put it out. It's like, I was like, oh.
Oh my God.
So I was like, well, that wasn't fun.
No. Were you not in a dark space mentally?
I think I was born with a lot of resilience, and I think the culture shift from Sri Lanka to Australia had made me really strong. And
that's what built your resilience up, all that stuff.
Yeah, and I just never knew how to give up. I was like, all right, shit, my face, it's okay.
Did you ever nearly try and give up?
I did, actually. I tried giving up. I got to a point where the children were 10. The eldest was No, not 10. He went to kindergarten. His first kindergarten day, and I walked him up with a little hat and dressed him up, my little Bash brothers, and I like took them to school. I took my photos and everything. I was so proud of him. And we were supposed to go on our first date after having these kids and all of that, and after all of that problems and all that. And I bought myself a white kit and everything and got him something. And he turned around and he said, "Oh, my mate's not picking up. We have these tickets we're supposed to be going." I said, "That's okay. Let's go on a date together." He goes, "Why would I want to go with you?" And I was like, "Wait, you don't love me? Why would I want to be? No, I don't love you." Point blank.
He said that?
Yeah. And I'm like, "But I've given birth to 2 kids for you." Because I don't care. I need to call my friends. I need to be with my friends. I'd rather be with them than you. And I'm like, oh, I went into a dark space then. So I slit my wrist and bled out in the bathroom. And it didn't work out because obviously I didn't cut deep enough because I was too emotional and couldn't see between the tears. I woke up in a pool of blood, and he opened the door and bashed my head with it. He goes, "Oh, well, look at the mess you've made. Clean it up. See, you've caused yourself problems now." And then I still have a little bit of scarring, but you can hardly see it. It's just 3 or 4 lines, but you know. So I was grateful that I didn't cut it throughout because I wouldn't be here meeting wonderful you.
Yeah. But your children need you, don't they?
I just, when someone says they don't love you after marrying you, after going through all of that stuff, and all you wanted was just 5% of love, and whatever that was for them, couldn't show any affection. I bought houses for him, cars, and everything. We worked together. We did. No, he'd go to Sydney and come back, and I didn't realize he was cheating on me with a 45-year-old. I was 25 at the time. And yeah, that was the darkest spot for me, was then. And then I wanted to leave, and then my family was against it. Then I became an outcast because it's frowned upon to divorce. And then, things weren't the greatest place with my family. So I tried suicide again. So I thought a whole packet of 100 Nurophens would knock me out. No.
You took 100?
100 in one hit.
Yeah,
the 120.
Didn't do anything to you?
No, I just went for a sleep. Felt cold, thought I was going to die. Said my goodbyes to my boys and everything. And then just because my mum and dad wanted me to go back to that, I said, unless you're going to have a casket ready for me, he's going to beat the crap out of me, and the boys won't have a mum. I said, that's not our problem. You just need to work this out with him. Once you get married, that's it. And that's just what they're accustomed for. They do the same thing. They do or die situation. Doesn't matter how shitty the relationship is, you stick with that one person. I guess it's the old way of living. But I just couldn't handle it. I didn't want to be a punching bag, and then I just, I spoke to my doctors and everything, but he's like, if you're going to keep on telling me you're falling in the bathtub, I'm not going to believe you, and I will not service you. And
wow.
I was like, I was done. I just didn't want to listen to anyone. That's it. I had enough. These people are horrible. This world is horrible. It's not what the Bible says. It's not what anyone is painting out to be. Screw you, Disney. It's not the Little Mermaid thing that I grew up with. Where's my Eric? Yeah. Where's my happily ever after? Where's my Finns? Where's my sisters? I didn't have anyone.
No, of course. So was it the doctor that changed that trajectory for you? Is that when it started? Was that what started you to think differently about what you need to do in this marriage?
It was the third suicide attempt that made me think, well, I got into a 1-bedroom unit, and I was trying to get back to who I was, and I was at the edge of a window, and I was trying to throw myself off a 2nd-story building, which below was, those clotheslines. So they had about 6 of them. So I was hoping I'd get probed on one of them. But my arms and my legs froze, and I was trying to jump out. It wouldn't. So I went to church, and I stood there in church. There was no one there. I said, You won't let me die. You won't let me succeed. Fine. I'm going to fuck this world up. I'm going to fuck everything up. I'm going to do it my way. I'm going to fuck everything up. And I wanted to be so destructive. But every time I went to do something destructive, something beautiful happened. And I grew, and I grew, and I grew, and I grew, and I grew. And I have businesses now. I've met wonderful people, famous people. I'm like, what? Huh? What?
There is a rolling
And I'm
effect,
like,
isn't it?
and I'm like, what? So I had to give up that whole shitty life and say, I'm going to take it my own and screw you life and screw God, screw everything. And I'm going to fuck everything up. And that's all it was. Doing it my way. And I was like, huh? Awareness hit me then. And I was like, take your saddle and your whip it and take that road and keep going. Do you know what I mean?
Power of awareness.
It's
That,
so
I love that moment.
powerful because once you have nothing to lose, you've got everything to gain. Everything to gain.
True. So true.
And because of my resilience, I couldn't care less if anyone said, nah, you're a shit person. I'm like, great, next. I'm like, yeah, well, I'm not everyone's cup of tea. I'm someone else's gin and tonic.
Hey, love it. What a way to come back to the loop of how you're leading your own way now, though, in the modern day, and it's just beautiful. So, okay, coming towards the end, then. So, if somebody was listening today who's been through the topics, the categories, the different traumas that you've been through, I think you've just said it, but what piece of advice would you give to those people?
Just be you and take that leap of faith for yourself. And judge your own judgment. Just stick to you. Stick to your decision. Doesn't matter how shitty it is. Doesn't matter how little it is or how big it is. You want to go out there, jump in. Full throttle at it. Pedal to the metal and just deal with it when it comes. Because if you push your pedal to the metal and hit yourself at 100 Ks, if you hit anywhere, well, it's a learning thing. You will never, never harm yourself. You will only keep going through barriers after barriers. And you won't know how far you can go if you cannot push yourself. And the only person that will motivate you is yourself. So you need to look within. And that's where I come in. If you can't see it, come see me. Let's pull out those beer goggles and let you see clearly. Because you are more than enough. You are more than enough to live your dream life. That's all I can say.
Yeah, no, I love it. I've got two final questions for you. Here on Leading Our Own Way, I want the viewers to also understand that it's the way you've explained your journey is beautiful, and the darkness that you've been through and pulled yourself through. And we start the episode with how you lead your own way. But I also want the viewers to understand you're not reached your goal. You're not stopping just because you're thriving. You're still not fixed. You're still learning. You're still growing. We're still figuring things out, and you'll still get things wrong going forward. But future plans is super important because the destination isn't until we leave this planet. It's an ongoing journey. So even though you're doing these wonderful things with your clients and through your NLP and your hypnotherapy and everything that you're doing with the book, beautiful book, what is your future plans? What lies in with your adventures?
I just want to address, you're not broken to be fixed to start off with. You are perfect in every way. And it's the perception of that you feel like you're broken because you're disconnected, and you're not. You just need to be registered for that. For future, well, there is a lot of ongoing things happening for me, so you may see me on TV soon.
Ooh.
So yeah. So
can you tell us?
Oh, it's a bit hush hush.
Oh, man.
I know. Just have to wait
for a world
for
premiere debut on Leading Our Own Way.
Leading Our Own Way. These doors have not just been given to me. I went looking for them. If you want success, chase it. You want something, get it done. If you wanted an interview with Andrew, go up to him and say, "Yo, buddy, you, me, let's go."
I think I asked you to come on my podcast, though. I had to do the chasing and get you
Oh
on me.
yeah. Oh yeah. I don't think I'm good at multitasking then in the book launch.
I love it. I love it. No,
No,
you're
but
so right. And I've just written that down actually because I'm doing a speech, and in my speech I say I'm still not fixed, but I'm going to add those key words that I'm also not broken to the side of it.
yeah, because you don't need to be fixed. You just need to shine. You're not
Yeah,
glowing
I
yet,
know.
but you will be glowing because you're still finding your light, your own light, and that's a self-discovery of your own. Don't say you're fixed because you need to fix yourself. There's nothing broken. You're not broken
Yeah,
to be fixed. You
yeah,
omit that fix because you need to understand that you are waiting for you to be polished a bit more to have that inner glow that resonates for everyone, that gives them that little piece of, oh my gosh, I have hope. Do you know what I mean? If this guy can do it, I just can be like this. I can pivot. I can do this. I can do that. It's just our innermost thought that we are being genetically droned is you're meant to be subservient because you're not from a king, a queen. You're not entitled because entitlement is bad. No, it's not. Entitled meaning entitled of knowing who you are. Yeah, you can be a spoiled brat and be a total ass. But if you've come from a warpath where people have treated you like crap and you had to be an asshole to get rid of the assholes, well, at least you're not smelling like a fart.
Too funny. Oh my God. How can I ask the final question in a serious way?
Go for it.
Well, the final question is, we talk about purpose quite a lot, and it comes very clear in the episode usually, and it is very, very clear for you too. But I always ask the guest to put it into a simple line. So, Avrill, what's your purpose?
My purpose is to be limitless. To be
Never
limitless
had
and
that
push
one.
boundaries. Because
Love it.
the only way I can be me is to be extremely me.
Yeah.
And
Beautiful.
that's it. Simply
Beautiful.
said.
Avrill, it's been an absolute pleasure. You're inspiration to us all. I will put everything, all your information, the book, the websites, whatever you've got, social links, I'll put it all into the show notes for people to contact you or just follow your journey and, just keep empowering people. And I know a lot of people are going to get a lot from today's episode and your stunning resilience and understanding of awareness. And if we can build that awareness more for everybody, they'll see that above the baseline of what we're all seeing as humanity at the moment.
Yeah.
I think we need to see way past what we are looking at. I think that's why we've become so short-sighted. We can only see across the road because we've built the world up so much. I think we need to lower all those houses and towers back down to the field so we can see long distance again, and we won't be short-sighted anymore. But thank you for joining me on my journey. It's been an absolute pleasure, and thanks for being vulnerable. It's super important that even just that in itself, to be vulnerable and allow other people safe spaces to be vulnerable, we can change the world. So thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you so much for having this wonderful conversation. And if anyone's listening, if I can go through all of what I have to go through, what's your excuse?
Yeah, absolutely. Choices. And that, again, we talk about that, making choices. Just one small, simple change and a small, simple choice change the trajectory of somebody's life.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you so much, Andrew. Appreciate you. Thanks.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you. Until next week, until we have another amazing guest and another inspiring journey, just like Avrill here today. Have a great weekend and keep leading your own way. If you don't know how to, let's go and find it. Enjoy the weekend. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Thanks for listening and watching Leading Our Own Way. So we can stay together forever and share more incredible journeys, please subscribe to the channel. That way you won't miss next week's episode and what that amazing guest has to offer to the world. Please support Leading Our Own Way, and we'll get you on next week's episode.